Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. It is time for a new kit build over at the Counterfeit Kit Challenge, and Lori is our hostess this month, and she chose the 49 and Market Vintage Artistry Sunburst collection pack as our inspiration for our kit builds this time around. So here is a quick view of what that kit looks like. And I will take you, hopefully quickly, through closer views of these items. I feel like I've been going a little too slowly with these intros lately. If you really like a slower version and more of my thoughts on that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to try and speed these up a little bit so that I'm not holding you all day. All right, so here is more of a close-up of the overall kit collection. Here is some ephemera die-cut pieces. And we have some chipboard pieces. I did go to scrapbook.com to see what I could look up even closer of these items, especially the pattern papers. So we have a range of pattern papers in a range of colors. I did kind of group them together by their general color. We had greens, and now we're moving into the blues. A little more blue. We got yellow, and these are definitely very bright, popsicle-y like colors, and this collection is definitely a tropical vibe as well as a nautical vibe, and so we've got both of those things going on, and you could see some of that imagery with palm trees and seahorses. Let's go ahead and move into the ephemera. Here is a look of that same ephemera pack we saw originally. And then I moved into extra embellishments that are included in this entire collection because I might have some of those pieces in my stash already. So here is what they call their bubbles and baubles. And I know I have a pack. I'm not sure if it's this particular pack. There's some washi tape with icons that you can cut out and make stickers out of. Those are some layered elements, and then a whole die cut pack of mostly foliage icons. And then we move into rub-ons, and I remember really loving this rub-on when it came out, but I did not end up buying it because we haven't been taking many trips lately, and having beach-themed things would not be very useful to me. I really love this Sunburst print. I could have maybe made use of that one for sure and other things. I was fascinated by these kind of file folder and envelope, I guess, pieces. So that was interesting. There's some word and title pieces, and then more of these ephemera pieces that have a lot of the iconography. Now, like I said, we haven't been doing a lot of traveling, so most likely I'm just going to have to ignore that part because I don't think I really have anything to go with this. So where I do think I'm going to go is sticking with a very fun and funky bright color palette. I will go and choose 49 and Market supplies that I already own. What else am I thinking about this? I will look more carefully over these icons and see what kinds of things I want to include. I know I love, if we get a closer look at this, I know I love labels, both tabs and labels. I do like little word bits. There are some bows in here, so maybe I will grab some ribbon from my stash. I may include some general florals and some butterflies. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So let's go downstairs to my craft room and start pulling things. All right, I am going to start off my kit a little bit differently than I usually do. I do have my list of notes that I made when I looked at all the images online. And what struck me is that I really don't think I can use the nautical and tropical beachy vibes that were going on. However, I did pull a whole bunch of stamps. Now this one in particular, I'm going to use the camera, so I'm going to keep that in my kit. But a lot of the other stamps have that nautical or tropical vibe to them. And I'm not likely to use these, but I'm calling this my nautical add-on as a just in case. Maybe some stories will come up that I just don't have in my mind right now that might use those products. I am going to focus my kit on a lot of the other images that I noticed in the inspiration, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. This was the first pack of paper that I pulled that had kind of the colors I was going for, and this is the companion print paper to go with that, but it felt still a little too soft. I went and looked in my 49th and Market stash, which has gotten pretty small because I've used a lot of it, And while I like that collection kit, it had a lot of purple in it, which I wasn't sure about. But I did pull a bunch of individual papers, mostly Vicky Bouton. And this first group of papers is from the Color Story line. And I felt like the vibrancy of these papers were really working for matching the vibrancy of the inspiration. Now, these set of papers are from Vicky Bouton's Sweet Rush, and some of the imagery on here had something to do with what the kit was going for with the sunshine, and even the Ferris wheel was partly in the inspiration. And these colors, besides, the purples and oranges, these colors were really working. Now, I pulled this paper for the backside, and that one was actually looking too mellow to me, so I did set that aside. That one is in Amy Tan paper. And then I did pull some Pink Fresh Studio for the mixed media vibe, but it was looking too soft for me. So I really stuck with the bolder prints this time, which is uncommon for me because that is not what I often use. So I'm excited to get out of my comfort zone and use some of this bold stuff. Now, one thing that I kind of skimmed past was the fact that there's some pops of black in the inspiration, and I did pull a couple of black and white pattern papers, but looking at some of the inspiration, the embellishment had some pops of black as well as a couple of pieces of pattern paper with pops of black. So I am going to lean into that as well. I'm going to pull some black cardstock when I need it from my stash and add that into my kit also. I did pull just a couple of pieces of paper from the 49 Market collection, and I think that's the Spectrum Gardenia collection. There we go. That's what it is. So I just pulled a couple of pieces there, and they did have, at least the one piece had some purple in there. So I may try and lean into that purple just a little bit. Here I am setting aside some of the pieces that I intended for embellishment, so let's talk about that stuff next. Some of the other icons I noticed in the papers were generally summery with sunshine, cameras, bikes, so I'm leaning into those images. Butterflies also, and some florals. We'll see more of that as I go. I do have this roll of washi tape that was part of the extras that I showed you, and that was inspired by that, and it has some purple in it. I have some photo frames since that was part of the embellishment pieces. Now, both of these packs are blue. I thought one was black and one was blue, so I'm just going to keep one of them. Here is my other, one of my last pieces of my other collection of 49 Market, and I like the butterflies on there, so I'm going to add that in. And I think that's the Spectrum Sherbet collection. I do have the laser cut aparts from the Spectrum Gardenia collection, so I am going to add those in there because it had some of the postage stamps, which were on just one sheet of pattern paper, and then some ribbony things that were more of bows in some of the embellishments. So I'm going with this one sheet from that package that had some of the imagery in there. Here is a pack of rub-ons that I have. This is probably the only, I don't buy rub-ons. I just haven't gotten on board with them yet. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just, I just haven't gotten there yet. So those are in my kit. And then I did pull out this collection from Paige Evans, which is a little bit on the softer side. So I am going to go ahead and tuck that in there because it had some of the happy, summery icons with birds. And I think there were a couple of butterflies in there and so on and so forth. So I think that is going to be more embellishments than I can use this time around. Oh, and then I forgot, because there were bows in their laser cut pieces, I did go ahead and pull out actual ribbons and bows from my fiber collection. And as for alphabets, I wanted to go strictly with black, but I only have those 2 packages of black alphas left, and that's it. So I pulled out a couple more white alphas, and if I want to turn them black, I can use a Sharpie or a Copic marker, some kind of alcohol marker, and change their color. So that will wrap up my kit for this month. It's going to be an interesting month for me to go bold. And if you want to do kit building, or if you want to see the other designers with their takes on these kits, all the links will be down below so that you can join us. And I will see you on the 4th, where I recreate some items from the inspiration to add to my kit. So until then, I hope you have an artful day.